Right, been a little while. I thought I'd make a splitting video. Well, I fancy doing some splitting basically. I just fancied using this Cornelius Whitehouse hedgehog 5-pounder. I made it and I barely used it, and I really like it. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I just fancy using it, so here we are. Just clearing some stuff out of the way. So I said I'd talk about getting wood for free, so I might do that while I'm splitting. Somebody mentioned that my work area was a mess, and it is, and it always is. But such is life, but I thought I'd make a vague effort to clean some of it up. Right, the smoke. So, free firewood. Yes! Free firewood. So, the easiest way to get free firewood is just to ask. I love this axe. It's a big axe, but it's real nice. There's that lamina something that they call it in the oak because it's dead old. Oh, lovely smell. Haven't split for a few days because I actually did my shoulder a mischief. Too much swinging. So if I see a bunch of tree surgeons or hear a chainsaw, I'll always go and investigate and say, hey up lads, anything for free? And to be honest, it's about 50-50. Sometimes they say no, because they're either taking it with them to sell or the load is pre-sold to someone else, or they say yes. And as soon as they say yeah, I don't muck about, go and get a pickup truck or a van or something if I mate and go and get it. The other thing is to try not to do it alone because it's quite hard work. So I'm in a little syndicate. 3 of us houses live close to each other that use firewood. So we've got a little syndicate where we share the spoils and we all keep an eye out basically. So it's a lot of the work's divided by 3. So yeah, just go and ask. You'd be amazed at what being polite and going and asking what you can have can get you. Some more. Now the other thing I do is, if there's been a storm over winter, grazed my handle then, didn't do any damage. Should probably be ground splitting with this longer handle. What was I saying then? Oh yeah, so after a big storm in the winter, I'll put a post on Facebook on the local community groups and I'll say, has anyone got a tree down that they'd like removed for free? Now, if you do that, you're going to get a load of Karens that say, oh, have you got your chainsaw license? Have you got insurance? Now, that's very important if you're going to be doing anything dangerous. I have got my chainsaw license. I do have public liability insurance, but that's completely by the by. If I think I'm going to need my public liability insurance, I don't go and get the wood. I won't mess about with anything that's near power lines or somebody's house or a school, or you know what I mean, like anything that's going to be a risk, or a road, anything where there's some liability where I could make a mistake. I'm not interested. I'll go and get it for free if it's been cut down, or give somebody some beer tokens for it, but I'm not there to risk my life or somebody's property. So much as I do have insurance and I do have some basic chainsaw training, if I think that there's any kind of risk, I don't bother. It's not worth my time. There's plenty to be had. So ask, develop a good ear for when you hear a chainsaw. That's the best. Half of them will tell you to get lost, half of them will say fill your boots. That's the bottom of a really big overstood hazel. Well, I suppose you'd call that technically a derelict hazel, not an overstood hazel. Real gnarly to split, but it's supposed to be really good firewood. If you see a tree down, go and ask. Obviously be careful with things like wind-blown trees that are still attached to the stump, because that's a whole can of worms. Trees move when you cut them and you take weight off them. But again, if you don't know that, you shouldn't be messing around with a tree and a chainsaw anyway. So do what's in your capabilities. So the other thing is, because of various health and safety and public footpaths and that kind of thing, the council's often under an obligation to fell trees that are judged unsafe. So ash with dieback is a prime example. That's where your chainsaw ear comes in, because normally a lot of the lads, they don't want anything to do with the wood afterwards, and you're doing them a favour by taking it. Now, if you Google is it legal to collect free firewood, it'll tell you that it's theft if you take firewood. Now, it is technically theft to take firewood just sitting by the roadside. The thing is, how do you put it? Stealing is stealing when there's an aggrieved party. So if there's council-owned land with a public footpath that has had some ash dropped down for dieback and it's been left there for 3 months, it's unless it's been stacked neatly and put to the side and obviously for collection later, it's very unlikely that somebody's going to come back for that. Now, the problem becomes cutting it to size, because you can't start using a chainsaw on a public footpath without permission. That's how you're going to get yourself in trouble. So if it's carryable and it's not going to be missed, as far as I'm concerned, why wouldn't you just take a few logs? But like I say, I don't condone anything that might get people into trouble. I just ask. The Facebook post after a storm is a real winner. And I've got a lot of work from that, i.e. people will say, well, I haven't got a tree down, but I've got a little birch tree or a fruit tree that I really want rid of in my garden. It's not near to anything. Would you mind coming to take it down? You can have the wood for free. And that's a winner. That's most of what's here comes from that. And then the rest is going and asking tree surgeons. Sometimes they'll even help you load it up to get rid of it. If you're willing and able to go and get it, that's the key. So really you need to be able to use a chainsaw. The courses are reasonably expensive, but it's the best training I ever did. They're really dangerous tools, and you need to know what you're doing with them. And a vehicle, so a van or a pickup. And if you show willing, and when you get a reply on Facebook saying, "Oh, I'm a tree surgeon and I often have wood," and you go and get some, if you get a couple of big loads of him, we'll give him 40 quid, 50 quid if he doesn't ask for any money, and you might just get another load out of him in the future. Really good axe this for knotty things. It's got so much big 5-pound head on it, just smashes through. He says getting mugged off by a knot. So yeah, generally ask. Half of people say no, half of people say yes. Again, if you're in a built-up area, you're going to have more competition and more people wise to the fact that they can probably get a few quid for it. work for free for people within your capabilities. And like I say, if you go on a walk, if you find a load of pines stacked up at the side of a forestry trail, well, it's clearly somebody's coming back for it, aren't they? If you're in a council park and there's an ash tree being dropped 3 months ago and there's a rough pile of 4-foot logs underneath it, well, let you make your own judgment whether anyone's coming back for them. But even better, if you can get the tree surgeon there cutting it down, most of the time he's going to say yes, they're going to say yes. So yeah, plenty of wood for free. I've got 3 winters now, all for free, as have the other 2 members of my syndicate. Basically I do the chainsaw work, one of them's got a pickup truck, and the other one provides the muscle. And it works out well. Oh, I love this axe. Yeah, I know my chopping block's slowly moving towards me, but it's a mess, so I'll work the animals I've got. I love this big oak. You just know it's going to last forever once it's in the burner. And then I said I'd do a video on drying, which I will do. I was going to do that today, but it's a wet day. Didn't feel like talking about drying on a wet day. And again, there's no hard and fast rules with any of this. Just, well, with the wood getting, don't steal it, don't take from what is obviously, people know if someone's been put aside for someone to come back later, you know if you're going to thieve it, and you shouldn't. But surely, in my eyes, to be theft, there has to be a victim that doesn't want, that wants the product that you've taken. So, council land left at the side of the road, as long as you're not in anyone's way. Fill your boots, I say. And the other thing is, if you're in a nature reserve and they've had the tree surgeons in, quite often you'll find what they do is they'll stack a load of brash in a pile on top of the logs, and normally that means that they've left that specifically for a nature pile. They've not there, nothing for the Cornelius Whitehouse. So, swing on that. So don't take a little nature reserve that the tree surgeons have left in a park or something like that. Use your common sense. Unfortunately, people don't have much of it, do they? That's what I love about the big £5 Whitehouse. It just smashes the knots apart. Look at that. Just broken them. Get a side smash. Yes, sir. Big old knot through that one. Oh, lovely. And obviously oak like this is a rarity to get for free. You'll find most of what you get on Facebook. Oh, that's the other thing. Save searches for free wood, free logs, stuff like that on your local marketplace search. And you'll very often find that people have cut down a Leylandii hedge, realise there's a lot more waste than they thought there was. And like I say, when you're starting out, like I said in a previous video, when you're starting out and you're not going to be fussy about what wood you've got, go and get yourself some Leylandii, split it up, get it bone dry, and it will do you for your first couple of years until you can afford to be snobby. And there's plenty of that for free. You need to burn a bit more, you need to split it a bit thinner to get it seasoned. To get it seasoned quick. But it does the business. Cool, right. I'm going to tidy up, maybe do some more later. Catch you again.